Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, I guess. Um, Today we're gonna take a look at one of my other interests that I wanted to show you guys. And this is, I guess this, like you can see right now on the screen, is reacting to trials about different topics. Today we're gonna take a look at Darrell Brooks. And I already did. If you go back to the channel, there's gonna be a live of about 5 hours of reacting to the pre-trial and the first day of the trial, and you can go back and watch that. I'm gonna start with day two. I'm gonna try to keep this video not that long. I like that. We're gonna keep it like 20 minutes, something more digestible that you can just pop in and watch. I guess this video will be in 3 parts because it's an hour. So we're gonna go and take a look at the second day. So I'm just gonna be reacting to it.
I have the state appearing by District Attorney Sue Opper, Deputy District Attorney Leslie Basie, Assistant District Attorney Zach Wichow, and I have the defendant, Darrell Brooks, appearing in person. So my understanding is that following what Mr. Brooks described happening at the initial appearance, there was a woman that one of the deputies spoke with and warned her. It's my understanding that woman may have been in the gallery on Monday and was warned about behavior then. I have issued an order. She is not allowed back in these proceedings because of.
For a little bit of context, I'm gonna try to not pause it that much. But for a little bit of context, Darrell Brooks is complaining that one of the jurors flipped him off and I saw the video and where the girl is flipping off. But apparently this person that he's telling the judge that he he saw and that he doesn't forget faces was that person, but it wasn't. So he's just stalling.
We know her identity, and I can tell you with certainty it is not our juror.
There you go. Not our juror.
So I don't think it's necessary to bring that juror out, given that record. But I will certainly do that if the state feels, or Mr. Brooks, that that's important for their understanding or confirmation at this point.
And of course he's gonna call her.
It's unclear to me if he was present at any time in day 2 of jury selection. I know he was in day 1. So his claim that he was unable to see the juror at the time, obviously if it's a juror from day 1, he was able to see her because he was in court with her. So that would also be something, I guess if we could establish that she was part of the first 41, then I think the record is clear that the defendant was in court when the first 41 were brought out, and therefore he could have objected at that time.
Yeah.
I will get confirmation of the number, and we'll go from there. Well, any requests as it relates to that, Mr. Brooks?
Before I get to that whole issue, Your Honor, if I may, I would like to state for the record and would like the record to reflect that I personally don't identify by that name. I am here as a third-party intervener in that matter.
Classic Darrell Brooks. He's not Darrell Brooks, apparently. He's just a guy. So
Appearing as an authorized representative for my client. I accept for value, in return for value, all the charging instruments in this matter and make my exemption available for discharge of all obligations and charges connected with this case. I do not dispute any of the facts in the charging instruments.
that's gonna be a recurring theme during this trial.
All right, as to the issue of the juror.
And basically the response of the judge is, I don't care.
As far as the issue of the juror, I was maybe briefly present when the first wave of jurors were brought in. I didn't recall really being in here long enough to really get a look at the jurors coming in because I was removed at that time. Actually, either they were coming in or shortly after they were brought in, I was removed. I definitely was not present for the second and third wave. I was in the other courtroom, so I can't see the jurors from the other courtroom on the monitor, so it wouldn't possibly be that I would have seen the juror that I was referring to yesterday.
And I'll give it to him. That's a fair point.
Understanding that may very well be true. My recollection is you were removed pretty quickly.
But still,
due to an interruption
don't
early
get kicked
on,
out of
but
the
I
courtroom.
am
None of this will
advising
happen.
you that I was able to confirm with others, including law enforcement, that the juror that you suspected was the woman who made an inappropriate gesture toward you at the initial appearance.
Sister.
They are not the same individuals.
There you go.
I've been able
Boom.
to
The
confirm
judge is
that.
telling
I
you
know
that.
the
If he's wrong, just
identity
can
of the
appeal and
woman
get the case thrown
who
out.
did what you said, and it is not this juror.
Is there any way that I can be sure of that?
She's
telling you, dude. You gotta be
Do
sure.
you want to have juror, I think it might be 41, I don't want to guess. But I can bring that juror out when the jurors get here, and we can have her under oath testify that she was not at your initial appearance or any of the proceedings in this case. I'm able to do that.
That would be helpful, Your Honor.
I will question her about that, so there's a very clear record that your concern and whether one of the jurors on this panel was at your initial appearance and made an inappropriate gesture can be put to bed once and for all, so that you're satisfied they are two different
So you
people.
stop complaining.
Go ahead, she can just sit in one of the spots in the jury box. All right. Good morning, you can have a seat. You are not in trouble. We just have had an issue come up, and we wanted to make sure we all had accurate information. At any point in time, did you attend any of the proceedings in this matter regarding Mr. Brooks? No. Were you ever at the initial appearance for Mr. Brooks?
Nope.
All right. State have any follow-up based on that?
No, Your Honor.
There you
Mr.
go.
Brooks, any follow-up based on what I've asked this witness, or what I've asked this juror, sorry.
No.
All right, thank you. Thank you so much. Are they gone? Mr. Brooks, we brought out juror number 41. Was that the same juror that you initially suspected was someone who was at your initial appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And again, she denied. She said she told us she wasn't there, and I trust that satisfies your inquiry into this issue.
I'm still a little leery, but
She
Okay.
I say that. I'm not interrupting, am I?
she just
I say that because I don't forget faces.
obviously you do. Obviously you do,
All right,
because
I understand
that's not
what you're
her.
saying, but the record is
So-
made clear, and I'll make a finding that juror number 41 was not at your initial appearance and is not the person who made an inappropriate gesture to you either at or following that hearing.
From
I don't get it.
yesterday's testimony, we'd like to move into evidence Exhibit 1, which was the map. Exhibit
The map.
3, which was
Exhibit
the
1.
video played during Corey
One of the most
Russell's testimony.
used
And Exhibit 5, which is the
exhibits.
photograph of Erica Patterson. They were all testified to yesterday.
Any objection, Mr. Brooks?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
I guess it would be to the terms of relevancy. There's been no testimony from Miss Patterson, so I'm just curious to know the relevancy of that being made evidence at this point in time, because from what was said yesterday was that she would be testifying at some point. Would it not be better to have that admitted then if she decides to testify instead of right now when we're not even sure if she is going to testify?
She is gonna testify,
Your
dude.
objections are noted for the record. There was a proper foundation laid
Yeah.
regarding each one of these exhibits. They also are relevant to the issues within this trial, and I'll admit exhibits 1, 3, and 5, and also advise the jury when they come back.
I think he just because he's not prepared for anything doesn't mean that the prosecution doesn't. They know their job. There are 3 attorneys. They know what they're doing. They wouldn't do that if they didn't know about it. You know, they're not trying to pull a fast one on you, Darrell Brooks.
Back into court this morning.
They know their stuff.
Not interrupting, am I?
Hold on, I'm not to you yet. If there are any issues, any other issues from the state.
It was my understanding that Mr. Brooks did receive the medical attention that he was seeking over the lunch hour.
That was
Just wanted
ridiculous.
that
Go
on the
back and see
record.
that. He was crying
And
because of a
then,
bruise. He
finally,
couldn't
Your Honor,
continue the trial because of a bruise.
Just a reminder to Mr. Brooks as to the other act's evidence. In line with his questioning of Corey Runkle yesterday, Erica Patterson will be testifying here this morning. The court issued a ruling as to the other act's evidence. The state strictly abided by that. Mr. Brooks came very close several times to opening the door to that testimony. We treaded very lightly on purpose to be respectful of the court's ruling, but the court warned him twice. Mr. Witchow even personally went over and warned Mr. Brooks.
He always
Ms.
tries to
Runkle's
incriminate
testimony.
himself.
Before we start another round of challenges, potentially during Ms. Patterson's testimony, we just wanted to make a record of that so that Mr. Brooks knows if he opens the door to that other act's testimony, it will come in.
I appreciate the state raising that as well. Mr. Brooks, on the issue of medical attention, did you see the jail nurse or other medical personnel during the lunch hour yesterday?
Yes, I did. I received a cleaning of my cut and a bandage.
They put a band-aid on his finger. And he was a little cut and it was a little bruised because he was, I guess, struggling with the police because he didn't want to go. But
all right, thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's just complaining.
I was getting to the other parts of the injuries. They
Injuries?
viewed the bruises that I have on my arm and legs.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know what's going to happen behind that, but I was looked at.
it's a bruise, my guy. You're acting like if you got a gash around
It's
your
not
face
apparent
or
to me
something.
that any of these injuries are interfering in any way with your ability to be here.
He's like,
today
oh, I stubbed my toe.
and assist in your own defense.
So what?
So that's good.
Yeah, I'm just a little tender, just a little sore. So
All right.
A little
Mr.
tender.
Brooks, do you understand
No, I don't
what the
understand.
state is referencing as it relates to the other act's evidence?
I do not understand.
The court did not grant the state's request to admit other
I
acts.
hate when he says I don't understand because he does. And like you could ask him, do you understand that you're breathing right now? And yeah, like, no, I don't understand.
As it relates to your
an idiot.
conduct with Erica Patterson prior to November 21 of 2021. So it's very clear what we're talking about. Again, I'm going
It's
to give
very
you
clear.
these filings so that you understand what I prohibited in this trial. And the record should reflect those filings are being provided. Madam Clerk, do you happen to have the document numbers for those? So documents 170 and 161 were provided to Mr. Brooks. You are correct that when the state made the request, I prohibited the state from introducing that evidence. And so you can ask those questions. You're not prohibited, but then you potentially open the door to that information becoming admissible in this case. So I want you to be advised of that.
Man,
Yeah. If you can incriminate yourself all you want. They're not gonna do it.
I accept for value in return for value these filings. I do believe that I have a little bit more clarity, if that helps.
Thank you for putting that on the record. Do you have any other issues you want me to address?
Just very, very quick. I still don't understand the nature and cause of the charges against me, Your Honor, and
Then don't represent
I
yourself.
still would motion for or tennis motion for the jurisdiction to be proven. The
No.
subject matter jurisdiction.
Doesn't matter. You are in the States. You're under their jurisdiction.
And also a motion for finding a fact.
Your requests are all noted for the
Denied.
record, and for the reasons previously stated on this record, I'm not going to
repetitive.
answer those requests any further. They've already been denied by the court.
Keep in mind, this is just day one. Day one. We still have a lot of times, a lot of days to go, and he's gonna bring that up all the time.
All right. Anything else, sir?
I'm not interrupting, am I?
I'm asking you a question.
Just for the record, Your Honor, I would like the record to reflect, is that a judicial determination that you are making?
What does it matter? It's his decision.
Mr. Brooks,
It
the record
stands.
speaks for itself.
Yeah.
I've made my
They already
decision.
answered that.
We're moving on. All right. With that, then, State have a witness available to be called.
We do. Would you also just make a record, Your Honor, this morning that Mr. Brooks does appear again in his orange jail uniform and that he was offered the ability to wear street clothes and declined that offer? Also, he does have, appears to have all of his discovery materials at the table with him.
Yes, thank you. I should make a record of that as well. I didn't state at the outset, Mr. Brooks is here in person and in custody. He once again has come to the courtroom in jail attire. I presume, Mr. Brooks, but please confirm for me, you were offered the opportunity to change into street clothes?
As I stated on the record yesterday, I'm waiting for the results of the COVID test that I took. So until I get those results back, I would prefer to not wear street clothes at this time.
All right. Can you confirm for me, though, that you were provided
She
an
didn't ask that.
opportunity to change into them?
Someone
if
told you.
so chose?
Just answer the
Not to
question.
my knowledge.
Sir, I'm
It's
providing
always,
you with that
always,
opportunity
all the
right
time.
now. If you would
Lies.
like to change into your street clothes, into the suit and tie that you had previously, or any other street clothes, I would give you that opportunity. Did you hear me advise you of that just now?
I might consider it. Maybe I may have more information from the.
That's
medical
not the
staff once
question,
we
my
take
guy.
a
It was a
break, or
yes or
maybe
no question.
I'm anticipating. Well, actually, I anticipated that I would know before we even started court.
I will make a record that Mr. Brooks does have the 3 boxes that have been referenced previously. I see
Those
the
boxes are gonna
objection
be so
sign.
helpful
I see
later.
the
Promise you
selected
that.
statutes that the court provided to him previously.
There they
And I
are.
see he has a number of papers in
Nice camera work.
front of him. So he looks as if he's prepared to participate meaningfully today.
May I say something real quick for the record, Your Honor?
Sure.
I did bring these boxes up. I have not had the time to go through everything in there. As you can see, it's
Then why bring them?
a lot. That's putting it minimal. A lot. So I have not had the time to go through everything that's in there. I'm winging it, Your Honor.
Doesn't matter. You decided to do that. You
Deputy
have
Wade,
2
can you
attorneys
provide any, new
doing all
information?
that work that you have
All
there.
right. Well, can you provide that? Well, let me just see.
All you just had to stick with them, but no, you wanted to do it on your own, and now you have to suffer the consequences.
All right, the information
Look at
that
that.
I have on whether there's new information is, they don't have the results, but medical will be called again to check on that, to see if anything new, any new information is available, but as of right now, there's not. I also was advised that you were offered 3 times to have street clothes by.
They can
Officer
prove that they asked you,
Juror.
dude.
Just want to make a record of that.
3 times.
All right, then, Mr. Brooks, we don't have apparently new information. I
know.
intend to just continue then, okay?
Really quick. To the decision of Your Honor for me to be removed from the proceedings over the last few days, that was used from the Illinois versus Allen, right?
Right.
I'm not interrupting, am I?
No, go ahead.
I do represent myself pro per. I would like that stated for the record. Like the record to reflect that, not pro se.
The record will so reflect your choice of
It's the same word.
term
It's the same
to
term.
describe your appearance today.
It means the same.
I've briefly read Illinois versus Allen. It didn't
Briefly.
say it didn't give any reference at all to him being present by audio or visual in that case whatsoever. It just strictly talks about the reasons that he was removed and the options that the judge had in that. One of them being that he could be bound and gagged.
I wish they
One
do
of
that.
them being that he can be held in contempt and removed from the courtroom while the trial would continue, but it did not say anything about being present visually or audio or by audio.